Happy Friday and welcome back to Being Guillén, presented by Goose Island here on, we're going to call it tonight, the Goose Island Cave. Being Guillén, back with you guys today on April 30th. What's up, guys?
It was
Oni's hungover.
It was a long night last night. Got to see the second game of the Sox towards the tail end of the day, but you know it's going to be officially summer soon. So.
You were very busy yesterday, doubleheader. I'm sure a game like that you don't miss managing all day at the studio. And
yeah,
I told you
7-inning games are awesome.
And I told you they were going to win both games.
Best 7-inning team in the league. They swing the bat very well. By the way, those 7-inning.
It's great.
Manfred.
The media loves
Manfred,
it.
You know what? That's one of the things, I always criticize you, but it's very good for everything.
Can you imagine if they say, hey, we're going to do 7-inning games?
Baseball players, media, the media is the one always complain about how long the games are. There's only people that complain is us, the media. And because I don't hear players complain, I don't hear managers complain, I don't hear anybody in baseball complain about how long the games are, all the stuff about the media. Us.
I like the 7-inning rule better than the runner on second and ninth inning.
You know that it you don't realize in baseball how those last 2 innings are so
important
and crucial and important that when you really cut the game short, it's like you got to try to do everything faster, and all of a sudden you look up, game's over. It's like, hey, we got to go.
But it would mean no 7th-inning stretch. So today's first segment, obviously, always we are doing it for the gram. It was a special one, obviously not for the Being Guillén family, but someone that the Being Guillén family loves and respects. It was number 87th birthday of the only Hall of Famer, the best player to ever be born in Venezuela at this moment because he's the only one in Cooperstown, the great Luis Aparicio. Happy birthday. Obviously, as you've had the honor to always be linked to his name because of the team that you played for, not only in Venezuela, but in the United States, but also your connection to him because of his uncle and what he meant to your career as a player. So I know that you shared it, obviously, on the Being Guillén page on Happy Birthday, Luis Aparicio.
Oh, yeah. I think it's that last name to me is huge. The guy, he raised me in baseball. It was Ernesto. That's the only uncle Luis have. I was lucky enough to that guy teach me everything I know about baseball, at least in the beginning, how to be a good man, a good citizen, a good father figure. All those little things. A kid from 10 years old all the way to 17 with a sign. Then I think, I can be very quick at it. I own to him. That's why I named one of my kids Ernesto. I think the biggest thrill of my life was when we win the championship and they let me take the trophy back to Venezuela. And the only thing I was asking, or my wife did, it was to bring Ernesto to Caracas. He was in very bad shape. Polar people, thank God, next with my wife, bring Ernesto in a special airplane. And the biggest surprise I have is to have Ernesto when I was presenting trophy to Venezuelan people. Best year. And he asked me for a scotch when we go home.
So he was in bad shape, but he still
no. But he said he wanted
That's
because
awesome.
He said he want to celebrate that special moment to my family with me. I said maybe they might be my last scotch I got to drink. I don't care, but I was drinking with laughing. And drink one, he drink more than one. And that family mean a lot to me, a lot. Especially Luis. Luis was my first manager in baseball. Then we coaching together. When I was playing, he was coaching with us. I have a great relation with him. Every time I'm managing Winter League, every time I go to Barquisimeto, I have a lunch with him. 3 times, maybe 6 times a year in Winter League, going to Barquisimeto, give my ass kick. But Barquisimeto, La Cardenales de Lara, but I have a great time with him. My respect for the man. Very weird guy. Oh my goodness, weird.
I just think that he's old school. But again,
listen, I've said this on his show many times, and Miguel Cabrera will eventually join him because I know that we're following his journey in 500 and 3,000 hits. But I feel as a Venezuelan, I wish that we appreciated this man more. I wish that our country would salute him like other countries do for their Hall of Famers. Like Puerto Ricans, they do with all
Clemente
those Clemente and everybody. I wish that our country would value. Think about how many years there are in baseball. We've only had one Hall of Famer up to this point. Luis is, soft-spoken, not really in the media. You don't really hear about him. But living here in Chicago, you get to see, his legacy. And I wish that our country would idolize him and honor him more, because what he did, he's literally the only one, and he'll probably be joined by somebody else, but he's been there by himself for a long time.
It's funny, in our country, why we not do great things for it? Because he's not a motor, he not sell drugs.
Yeah, they don't idolize him.
Well,
he's not controversial.
It's a funny thing.
He's not controversial.
That's embarrassing. Being Venezuelan, that's embarrassing and sad.
He's not controversial.
It's very sad.
I'm telling you right now.
You know why we're gonna wait? We gotta wait till Aparicio die. All the song we're gonna name every ballpark, retiree's number, every street in Venezuela we naming Luis Aparicio. And when nowadays they even care about the man.
I mean, I literally saw his. We made a post. I saw his. He has 10,000 followers.
That's because
on social media.
What's funny?
That's so sad.
And probably 7,000 of them are from Chicago.
No,
right. I guarantee you, they appreciate Luis Aparicio more in Chicago than they do in Venezuela.
Hey, you're talking with one here. Right. They appreciate more me than they show me. By the way, those 10,000 followers, they're because his son tried to help them. And me, Aparicio went through. I know Aparicio's life very well. And every time.
It's just sad.
We see him and we talk about it. He's a very different guy. He's not Ozzie. He's not a David Concepcion. He's just very quiet. You just sit there and have a couple of drinks every night with the same group of guys. But it's a shame. I call up again, Venezuelan people, baseball, the president of the country. I don't know which one is the president. Whoever is taking the president. Just do something big for him before he dies. I know Polar people does. They do. They have premium.
The most valuable player for Venezuela.
They have a how you call the
Luis Aparicio award.
The Luis Aparicio thing. I don't know what it is. And who is the best player for that particular year? It's presented by him. I think it was a great move. But whoever made it, at least once a year we remember him. Twice a year when he's.
But it's just so weird because like the 26th player on the Diamondbacks will have like 80,000 followers. But Luis Aparicio, who's our only Hall of Famer, has 10,000. I guarantee if he was Mexican, he'd have statues all over Chicago and they love him.
And sad, Venezuelan players, code me in this. They know Roberto Clemente and they tribute Roberto Clemente more the own Venezuelan guy. A shame. You know what I mean?
So
it's bad.
So a player that definitely has a lot of followers, and again, happy birthday to Luis Aparicio, but a player that has a lot of followers and went very, very deep on the Walk Down Memory Lane segment, where we take Ozzie down memory lane of his amazing career. We had Ronald Acuña on Tuesday hit a ball that went 481 feet. Basically smoked it. That's a far home run. 481 feet. This is not PlayStation. When you look where the ball landed, when people talk about 500 home runs, not a lot of guys are hitting 500 feet home runs. In your career, what's been the longest home run you ever hit?
Oh, I already know. I was there. Me? Oh, wait, did he ever hit? Come on.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. You know what's funny? Hey,
wait. Actually, you know what? He doesn't remember.
Toronto.
He hit a ball in the Sky Dome off Frank Viola. That it disappeared in the rafters.
So it could have been a pop up to the catcher.
Right.
We don't know.
But
nobody knows.
Sean Green was playing right field. He hit a ball to right field, and the ball disappeared in the Sky Dome. So I'm going to say that's his longest home run.
By the way,
obviously it was a home run.
Roberto Hernandez. It was Sean Green turned.
He's like
Roberto Hernandez just throw the ball up.
It's here.
They be making fun of me like they throw the ball up. And nobody just sees Roberto Hernandez's ball coming down. I've seen that's the longest ball that I've seen hit. And I've seen I was vividly remember when Joe Borchert hit his home run in Chicago. But
the best story comes after the Joe Borchert home run.
That's the only home run I've ever seen. I was there. That's the only home run that I've ever seen hit the concourse. McGuire hit like the last year. I was there like 97, 96. He had like the perm. Joe Borchard on a meaningless game in like July.
It was like a doubleheader.
He hit against Philadelphia. He hit a ball off Brett Myers that it was like I gasped. I've never seen anything hit that far in my life in a real game.
So you know what? Hey, you see that one Giancarlo Stanton?
Yeah, but this one was farther. I mean, I saw Stanton hit one off Jamie Moyer in Miami. Hit the scoreboard. It was a line drive.
But you're expecting that.
I see Fred McGree hit one against Melito Perez in the old stadium in Toronto. That ball landed in Montreal.
So I think now, because you can measure it StatCast when you see those numbers, but the best part of the Joe Borchard story is the following. Number one, you don't expect to see a guy like Joe Borchard. McGuire, like
is he the best BP you ever seen?
One of the best BPs. But so when I got to the White Sox, so last night was the NFL draft. Okay, when I looked at Joe Borchard, I thought that I was an NFL scout because I knew that he had played college football, quarterback. When this guy was working out, a Greek god,
scary,
just scary. And when he got to the Sox, Joe Borchard was a prospect. And when I saw him hitting BP, I told Ozzie, I said, pencil him in, 40 home runs, right field every day. And Joel and so he was like that one guy for me that I felt like Ozzie never really gave him a shot. That he was like a late bloomer. It was like the white version of Nelson Cruz. That's what I thought he was going to be. And here comes Joe Borchard in this meaningless game, and we're on the bench, and he smokes it. And when I say smoked it, everybody just went, and I obviously went to Ozzie, and I said, you see, that's what George Borchard brings to the thing. And he turns to me and says, I bet you he strikes out the next 4 at-bats. And I said, I'll take that.
You took the under.
I said, there's no way. This guy just dropped ball like 500, like basically they should just walk in the next 4 at-bats. And he tells me, he goes, I bet you he strikes out the next 4 at-bats. What do you think happens?
He struck out the next 4 at-bats.
K. And I was just shocked. But again, a better baseball. But I think that Joe Borchard home run was definitely the furthest one that I've seen, just because obviously, you know, who it was. But seeing it in person, that was a huge home run. But Ronald Acuña is just dropping some
Listen, I'm going to say something about Acuna. Acuna might be a couple inches taller than me.
He's not very big.
He's not a big guy. When I saw him in Venezuela, and I thought he'd be bigger. He's not a big guy. He is electric, but he's not a big guy. That's why I love.
And he's not long either.
That's
he's
why
very,
he's a very soft body. Like you don't see him in like, wow, this guy is like he's.
You know what I like about him?
Like Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, he's.
Have you ever seen his Instagram?
Oh, his Instagram is very.
I'm just saying though, he's never puts himself training.
He'll
show a weird home run, bringing it off one of his cousins. He'll never show himself training.
I've talked to my cousins on that team, 80, and I'm like, what's this guy like? It's all natural.
Well, he played with his father.
He's all natural. He's all natural.
His dad was a great player and one of those guys in Venezuela. When you look at top prospects, tools wise, he had all the tools.
He got better tools than his other son.
Yeah, but it's crazy to think like this guy. He's coming into his own, and I put a bet out for him to be the MVP. He's like plus 200. He's literally a guy that's coming into his own, and he does it. He's like Freddie Freeman. Take a back seat. Everyone knows Atlanta. Like I'm the guy, and we're literally witnessing. I just hope that he can last for a long time because he plays the way he plays is very, very hard. The other day we saw him. We saw him score.
That was impressive.
We saw him score from first on a ball in the gap. The guy bobbled it 2 seconds. He still got into the relay and he scored from first. Meaning, like when he turns it on. He's got afterburners. Like that's different speed.
He scored with a fly ball to shortstop.
He is what they call
nobody. Nobody tacked with that ball. Yeah. He tackling.
Well, he's what they call. He's a 5-tool player.
I love baseball that he's been playing in.
Hit the ground ball to shortstop.
Beat it. The baseball.
The guy never bobble. Throw on the first. Safe. That's why I told them in my tweet. I say everybody watching Acuña's home run, but the best thing he ever did.
Well, by the way, the number 13, Mr. 13, representing the Venezuelan number. What he's done in April. Okay. The way that he's been playing. To prior season, he's taken it to another level. He's trying to flirt with guys like Mookie.
Hey, is he number 13?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
he
number
wears 13.
I think
Yeah,
I'm 0.
He is, by the way, this is the funny part. You might be. He's from La Guaira.
Yeah, he's from
plays
my
their team, so like,
I play for.
I love him. A lot of people, I think he's really coming into himself.
He's coming into his own.
He's coming into his own maturing, and with the team that he's maturing with them just as fast. So, sweet home Chicago, okay, the city that we love, the city that I've spent most of my life in. I would wish that I could say that I was born in Chicago, but actually was born in Las Vegas, Nevada, really randomly. But we love Chicago. I grew up here. I live here. I stayed here. I gave up, Miami for Chicago. Weather-wise, I love it. Okay, it's a great city for so many reasons, including one that a kid gets drafted. He's a top 5 quarterbacks of all time without even throwing a pass. This is just Chicago. The guy was just selling jerseys. We have a great city. But this city has a couple things that people, have debates on. And I wanted to do a quick, roundabout where people talk about, I get to ask you guys questions, and then I'll throw my chime in on things that, I think that make or break a relationship. I know that in this, especially this first one, definitely does. Something that my wife and I have definitely in common. So, pizza, deep dish or thin crust?
I'm going to be honest with you. This is a very sensitive subject for me. I will use the word hate. Real Chicagoans don't like deep dish.
No.
Thin crust is the way to go. Always. In our family, we either do regular or thin crust.
I don't consider deep dish pizza. I consider its own.
So we don't
like a soup.
Like we don't
like
get
a tomato
we don't
soup.
get Giordano's, and we don't get deep dish.
Giordano has actually an excellent thin crust pizza. No, but so going back, but deep dish though, even though we don't like it, it definitely is the one thing that all Venezuelans, when they come visit us, is Michael Jordan statue deep dish.
What pizza am I getting? Well, this city is known for pizza, the hot dog,
Al Capone.
Al Capone. What do you put on your
your
dog?
Okay, so hot dog. Okay, big debate.
Is it a sandwich? No,
it's not a sandwich. A hot dog, Chicago style, which looks very awkward for someone that's not from Chicago, or just mustard.
I'm just a
mustard guy.
I'm just
you know what?
Just mustard guy.
Venezuelan hot dog. When
Yeah.
we used to have hot dog, now I don't think we have.
The Chicago, they
with
do.
French, and they have put the fries on. They put the mustard.
So
here they do
no, but a Chicago dog.
That is very sensitive.
A Chicago dog is closer to a Venezuelan dog than the mustard, because you eat a hot dog in Venezuela, they're putting pickles, basically anything that the guy has while he's making the hot dog is going on the hot dog. But you're a mustard guy. I fall in that weird Chicago group that if I do put ketchup on my hot dog, I'm in that police world.
And we have someone here, Eddie Cass, saying Chicago style pie is the worst. Being a native New Yorker, New York has better. Is known for their slices.
New York doesn't have a lot of better things. Pizza, New York pizza by the slice. Gotta go with that one. Just like Boston has a Philly cheesesteak for Philly. There's a couple of things, but pizza, I'll give that to New York. Cog Hill, obviously your home field, but another awesome course that we love, Olympia Fields. I know which one you guys are going with this one.
Oh God,
which course?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm biased to the home team, Cog Hill, and we're in the talks about potentially doing a show out there. Cog Hill is. Someone asked me the other day. Someone posted on Instagram and it said, "What does this picture mean to you?" And it was a picture of the Cog Hill and the driving range, and I just put home. I've never felt so comfortable at a golf course that it's literally.
I think
in the last 3 years, it's literally become our home. Not because we know the starters, but we're friends with the guys that work the maintenance crew, the guys that runs the bar, the guy that gives
the field, then on the field.
The guy we know, the cooks in the kitchen, the guy that gives
you
the drinks.
So for everybody that's picking both, Olympia's very
that's
a gorgeous course. But it's like you're gonna play that one.
So Cog Hill is my home.
Cog is like you can go from like minor league baseball to like MLB level.
Yeah,
you can go from like I'm gonna play like a nice round
feel good course, 1 or 3, or let's go die. Right now, the greens are being aerated, and it's very upsetting that they didn't do this earlier. So the greens should be in unbelievable shape in about a week and a half.
And I do love the Cog Hill logo, the little kid.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you,
everybody.
So one thing about this, when people
man.
See us play all the time, and they're like, where do you play all the time? And we say Cog Hill, people are like taken back because of what Tiger did all those years ago. When you walk into the clubhouse, you see Tiger with the gallery and everybody walking. But I honestly think that the reason that this family is here is because of the course.
I moved to Lamont because of Cog Hill. I wanted to be close to it, but that's how much it means to us. But this is a good one.
We got to go out. They're saying that we have to go out to Torrey Pines.
What we love, by the way, we like restaurants. We love going to different golf courses, obviously, because that's something that we do. We love playing different. People asked me the other day, what do you like doing more, going to golf courses or stadiums? I said, I'd rather visit more golf courses than stadium. I'm okay.
I have a little tradition. Whatever golf course that I go to that I've never been, I buy a golf shirt.
Golf shirt, but I'm saying
hopefully it's on sale.
If I don't have to go anywhere else to watch a baseball game, and I can watch every single team come through Chicago, I'm okay with that. I don't have to go anywhere else to see. There's a couple, like Boston, I enjoy watching a game. There's a couple little cities, but there's people that are like, I went to Seattle once, don't have to go back to the
Actually, you know what? It's weird you said that because my favorite stadium in baseball is Safeco.
I'll tell you what, I don't want to be arrogant and like
Fenway Park is cool, but it's uncomfortable.
To the ballpark just because I can pay. That's it.
No, I'm not going to. But I'm saying everyone has.
That's the only reason I go to the ballpark.
But I'm saying everyone has their stadiums. Like a golf course, I'll revisit. There's certain stadiums that I'll go again, but there's other ones that I don't. So
no, but I'll be honest with you. I love going to Sox Stadium because of the food.
Yeah, the best
and how comfortable
Sox
it is.
Stadium is really nice.
Stadium
by the way,
great
can
food.
you imagine? I told you, Mom, you know what? Today I have a day off. I'm going to watch. It's a day game. Really feel I just want to enjoy a couple beers there. Like she'd be like, "What?"
Well, she wouldn't let you do it. But here's the part. One thing really quick about that, because the next question involves both teams. White Sox Stadium is actually underrated. In that team, a lot of things are overrated. I think the stadium's underrated.
I love the stadium.
This one topic is really, really, and I know both teams really well. Best party, 2005 White Sox or the 2016 Cubs?
Oh, God. 05 White Sox, by far. No social media was around. Thank God. Nobody, and I've been around a lot of teams. That team drank, that team partied, and they were good. And social media wasn't around. It was like 80s, 90s, 05 White Sox. Social media Facebook was barely starting, blah, blah, blah. 2016 Cubs, I never.
Well, just look at the players.
I never hung out with them.
People are talking about partying. Look at the rosters. Okay? Look at the rosters. Your wildest man, Anthony Rizzo, would not probably crack the top 9 in our.
God, hell no.
That's what I'm saying, though. I know Riz.
I know the guys that hang out. By the way, Rizzo cannot top the coaches.
Trust me. I'm just saying that you got coaching staff. You got the manager. I'm just saying that you got. Unless, like, Harold Baines is like the only innocent.
Well, maybe Joey Cora.
I'm Joey, but I'm saying but I'm saying from travel secretary.
Cooper could have because no one to pay any.
By the way, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna go from general manager down. Like I'm saying, the 05 team knew how to do two things.
People always ask me about, like I coach at Lamont, and they always ask me about what was that team like, and I said, listen, man, I'll be honest with you, that team, winning streak, losing streak. They were out.
They were also they were also more mature though in their careers.
They like to have a good time.
Everybody was very established. I feel like the Cubs, Chris Bryant is just like in his first like 1 or 2 years. Baez, like I think they probably partied more after they had won. But that winning season, everyone was already making bank. Like everyone was like a grown adult. Like everyone was like already in the middle of their career.
I tell you what, even Sox Fest in January, it was just who's.
So who wins in a 7-game series?
The Sox were 11-1 in the playoffs. Conversation over.
I think that the problem, the issue,
Sox were.
I'm saying, though, the big difference is the catalyst in a 7-game series. Number one, the Sox were 11-1. They're gonna say that we're biased, but the pitching staff in that one given moment, the only guy that scares me from the Cubs pitching staff, which I probably think it was the best pitching performance.
Arrieta back then.
Big Jake. Here's a part that I think that Big Jake, they get into his head. I think that one of the things that they didn't do well against Big Jake was getting into Big Jake's head, which we had AJ. We were very good. The Sox were very, very good at not only play on the field, but they were very, very, very good with gaining an edge on their opponent mentally.
I witnessed it because I was in a clubhouse, and that's the one thing. AJ's, he's a different guy, but the one thing that I really loved about him and about that team was that they didn't give a crap about who was on the mound, and they were on his butt all game.
Kelvin Escobar, and he was in his heyday then.
No, it was Vicente Padilla. It doesn't matter who it was.
Realize this. He wanted to hit AJ so hard that he forgot that the ball's in his hand. So I think that the edge,
remember, we faced the Yankees. It was old Randy. Like AJ Brzezinski was. I saw it. He's on the top step on the pitcher's butt.
What that team did now. Okay,
they probably considered
No. I'm saying now, the media, the Athletic would have read an article on this team is bullying people. Okay, this team is doing because it was a very. These guys were great guys, but
they didn't want to be friendly with the other team. It was just I honestly think they took the manager's identity and said, We're gonna be hated, but we're here to kick your butt.
I say, you know what? Let's go every time we go to some place, make sure they hate us. Hey, I say that in the meeting.
Well, they had a T-shirt that said, "Drink their alcohol, take their women."
They say, just go hate us. Let's make sure when it comes to White Sox, we hate him and we kick the butt. Then we go there.
But both great. By the way, great teams though. Great team. I think that little edge, that little thing. I think that no one got under that team stand. I think that that would have been the factor.
I've been around a lot of teams. I don't know what it was about.
I'm just thinking like Chapman on the mound, but I'm saying like I don't think the Indians rattled Chapman.
Exactly.
Like Chapman, like we knew you were gonna
like I want to see Hendricks this coming series. I want to see Hendricks come to the mound, and I'd love to see the Indians yelling at him for stop yelling. That's the kind of baseball that I like to see.
And maybe Major League Baseball.
No, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. By the way,
so I saw that.
Travis Hafner, okay?
Oh, God,
and then I'm saying, there was guys that literally, opponents that they hated. They hated the White Sox.
And people don't realize this. The AL Central back then was loaded. Justin Morneau, Joe Mauer, Hafner, Victor Martinez,
Dyer.
The AL Central, Justin Verlander, young Justin Verlander, Zumaya. The AL Central was the cream of the crop in baseball.
A lot more hate, okay, and a lot more
no love lost.
No love lost. So, what would Ozzie do? Okay, we obviously talked about both teams, but what would Ozzie do? W.W.O.D. I mean, this Ozzie, not this Ozzie. But a lot of questions have been being raised in the game, especially with the White Sox. But one of the best stories, okay, has been Michael Kopech. Okay.
Didn't the Red Sox let him go?
I'm saying, I don't usually throw this out there, okay, because I hate the word ace. I really do. Because when there's an ace, there's got to, for me, in my opinion, you need a couple of things as an ace. You need to have great stuff, meaning get outs, and you have to have an ace mentality. You don't know what an ace mentality is? Go ask Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens. It's like a killer instinct. Like you are talking about hating. Like you're going to go there and you're going to embarrass the other team. And Kopech does that. By the way, I don't think a lot of guys want to charge the mount on him. It'd be a hard fight, I think. But the guy has a man bun. And I'm still saying this guy is that intimidating. The factor is right now, though, that he's coming back from injury.
He took a year off.
Which I think helps a lot, which people don't realize that. I think it helps him. His pitching situation, how would you handle, Ozzie, that conversation of if he has an inning limit, how would you handle an inning limit conversation? I'm sure you've had it before.
Oh, that's easy. I will call Steve Stone and ask him.
Oh, you would ask Steve Stone?
Yeah, I say, Steve, what we should do here, I think the White Sox, they're ready to ask Steve because this pitch, I never pitch. And I think I will make a program for him. Like pitch 2 games in a row, skip one star, pitch him 2 days in a row, skip 1 star, try to pile his inning by 100 something inning. That's what the people expect. But when you have a kid like that, is your best pitcher, your second best pitcher, let's put it that way. Second best pitcher, because I think Rodon throw the ball way better than he does.
Well, he's pitched longer too.
His stats, starter, K, strikeout, he had to be pitcher of the month. To me, no doubt he had to be pitcher of the month. But I think to go to the playoff, you need to win the division or the
Wild card.
And this kid, when he's on the mound, is the best one they have with Average Perlin, Cholito, Keiko. But when that kid's on the mound, it's fun to watch.
He has great hair, electric. He has electric stuff, strikeout stuff. That's the kind of stuff that wins in October. He's a power pitcher. He's been, as good as advertised. And he came over in the Chris Sale trade.
They both won. Chris Sale's a ring.
Chris Sale got his ring with the Red Sox, so the Red Sox won. They let go of a good one, and let's just. I feel like Michael Kopech will be 10 times better than Giolito.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
not a question.
So he will be. He should.
So here's the conversation.
He should anchor this staff.
Who's the best manager in the past 20 years, World Series wise?
Bruce Bochy.
Okay. What has Bruce Bochy done each World Series?
Ride their starters.
Yeah.
Till the wheels fall off. That's why Tim Lincecum is not in baseball anymore. That's why Matt Cain is in baseball anymore. That's why Madison Bumgarner is pitching with another arm.
That's what I'm saying, though. So Dave Martinez won a World Series riding his aces. Okay?
So did Ozzie Guillén.
Ozzie Guillén won a World Series riding his aces. When you're in that run, okay, no one is saying, oh, let's hold somebody. I'll put it this much. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. If the White Sox had this Michael Kopech in a 60-game season,
they could have beat Oakland.
I think they might be in the American League Championship.
Yes.
He's that dominant that in a 60-game season. If him and Rondon are healthy,
I'm going to say this.
You can't. Who's the manager?
The manager.
You don't know when you're going to get into the playoffs again. Every team wants to get there every year. But like the Nationals held Strasburg back, and then eventually it worked out for them because they won
6-7 years later.
They won the World Series.
But these kids got a lot of problems.
But if you are in a pennant race, which the Sox hope they are in August, September, I don't know how you can hold him back.
I think that you have a conversation with him. And with all respect to Mr. Steve Stone, he's not Michael Kopech. Number two, they're built way different. I think you have a conversation with Kopech.
Yeah, Tommy Lasorda did the same thing with Oral Hershiser and Fernando Valenzuela.
They played for 100 years.
But I'm saying, though, you got to talk to Kopech, okay?
Kopech will say, you know what? I get the ball. I don't care. I pitch.
Well, that's
why
we're talking about
05
Ace.
The Sox rode Jose Contreras
in 16, Jake Arrieta,
to the Kentucky Derby.
Jake Arrieta in 16.
They rode him.
I'm saying, though, he said, I want the ball. Josh Beckett. And when you look at guys that are like their careers afterwards, Chris Sale might never be the same, but he has a ring. So I think as an ace, the difference between Kopech and Giolito might say, he might Javi Vasquez. No, I'll 5-inning it. Maybe in 2 years when we come back again, I'll have another shot. I feel like if they let Kopech pick, they'll say,
I'm going.
Give me the ball. Well, get on my shoulders.
I'll tell you
do this.
What that does to a team is it gives you, I remember in 05, it gives you, Contreras ran like 17, 18 straight. It gives you the sense as a manager, a player, a fan, like, we're going to win today.
Well, I love the fact that Strasburg
we're going to win today.
In 05 because the White Sox would have probably ran into the Nationals. He gets shut down. The Nationals.
We're going to win today. And you feel if he goes on one of these runs, you don't get that feeling with any of the other guys.
But I like the What Would Ozzie Do? 2 starts, 2-3 inning it, skip, and then kind of play the innings. Guys,
he's going to have 100 innings.
By the way, it's 100 innings in the bullpen or starting or long reliever.
You're going to be 100 innings.
It's going to be 100 innings. So get your computer, okay, all the analytics that you have, grab a spreadsheet, not that hard, Excel. On one side, you put innings pitched and then dates, and you literally put them and start, and you can literally figure it out. So in the world modern day of analytics, you can literally give Tony a piece of paper that says, this is how long Kopech can throw today. And you can start jumping. And by the way, if they do a Kopech sees piggyback, the way Kopech sees through the ball yesterday, they become more dangerous. So again,
well, you got to ask Steve Stone.
Well,
I got to ask. No, you know how to ask Kenny Williams or Rick Hahn.
So it's funny. I'm going to say this about broadcasters, and I was a broadcaster. We tend to say things, and people believe us because you're in the broadcasting booth
and you're on the air.
But there's certain things, and people, I'm going to say this out there. Unless you're a general manager or a manager, there's certain conversations.
Be in that
I'm just saying, though,
situation
just because I'm your son, okay, maybe I can tell a story that I was there. Like, oh, I heard Ozzie say this. But I've never, and my dream is to one day be in the shoes of Kenny Williams. So that's why when people start arguing about Kenny and Rick Hahn, I'm like, dude, Kenny's been there. Like, he's made a World Series roster with you. Like, someone didn't tell him about it. He didn't read about it. He was there. He's built a winner from the beginning to the end. You've done that. Tony La Russa's done that. So, like, that's why when people talk about experiences, even if you're the worst general manager in the history of mankind, you've had those conversations. So if you've never had those conversations, your comment is, I think, I heard.
Or in my opinion.
Not open.
Factual.
When you're a player, maybe A-Rod when he's with Texas, you're not part of any of those conversations. And if you are, then your team's running a really bad organization because you shouldn't be there. You should be worried about playing and not those parts. So there's certain positions in baseball that I admire, manager being one of them, and number two, anyone in the front office that is in that position of general manager or president, or obviously Jerry that owns the team.
Well, they construct a team.
Well, I'm saying, though, I admire those guys because just like I admire a baseball player to be hitting in the big leagues, they're doing things that I only dream of, that in my level of experience, I've never even done that. And that's where you look at those guys, if you even think they're good or bad, the level of respect that I have for someone like Kenny is this guy's done it. So, like, when you bring up, like, conversations of, like, this guy's better than this guy, it's like, no, those guys have pulled the trigger and said, I have to make a move. I have to make the trade. I got to pull that hitter.
And, you know, we had that problem with a pick between McCarthy and El Duque. And we had the conversation. We know how Hawk, we know how Steve Stone, we know how Farmio in that conversation. Say, hey, you guys should do this.
Everyone had an opinion. I was one that I was like, I was on that call. I was on Team Kenny. By the way, I'm gonna be honest. On that call, I was like, ooh, and I was a Duke's translator, and I was like, McCarthy's not throwing the ball bad. So it was decided.
By the way, that conversation happened in Cleveland.
But I'm saying though, it happened between two people.
It's happened between ours. Then I just remember told Kenny, I said, Kenny, the reason we bring Duque to this organization because we think we can win, and he's the only guy with experience in the playoffs. But McCarthy was throwing the ball good, but I only throw the ball good for a couple of days.
Nobody remembers he was not happy with that.
Oh, he shouldn't have been though. By the way, you shouldn't.
I don't blame him for that either.
But I'm saying though, that conversation.
But it worked out.
So it's funny when people talk about, and we'll have a whole segment about this, about White Sox fans especially are worried about like who's in charge. Jerry's in charge. Okay, but those conversations, especially on that team, which I think is one of the best things that they do, very small group. They're not calling
very
small group, meaning KW, Rick, Hahn,
that's it.
Manager,
that's it,
and Jerry. That's
no Jerry.
I'm saying though, Jerry's. But I'm saying though, he can come in. But I'm saying though, they're very. I'm saying like the way that they do business is the way that they do business, and there's a lot of teams like that. They're not having organizational meetings to make a move and saying, okay, guys, let's vote 100 to 10 to, and that's something people don't get. And I respect that. Even though they might not have 100 rings, they know how to run their team. They do a good job on that. But that takes us to the game changing, and people always want different things. Major League Baseball, okay, has had this conversation about going back and forth, which I hate the word change the game. I hate the word let the kids have fun. There's always been pitchers, okay, in the history of baseball that have been okay with guys showing off. Okay, just like there's been pitchers that are not okay with guys showing off. There's been hitters that are okay with guys showing off and they think it's hilarious and have a good time. And then there's hitters that hate pitchers for what they do. So we've always had both sides of the personality. So last week, okay, which probably was one of the funniest interactions ever, Trevor Bauer came out and said, which was good, I think, let Fernando Tatis Jr. have fun. Okay, he got me. He did the eye thing. Then he did the McGregor walk. Which is funny why they do the McGregor walk. Do the Khabib walk. That's the real winner. But doing the McGregor walk, but then he went to the Irish guy. Everyone's whooped.
No, the guy went for a couple of days and he got whipped.
Yeah, he won for like 2 weeks. He talks a lot. You do like he's
lost 3 times.
But if you do the Khabib walk,
I would have lost. They paid me $50 million.
So I'm just saying,
I fight Mike Tyson.
That's another conversation. But they're doing the McGregor walk. I'm like, this guy lost.
I do Canseco move.
So the dive. No, so here's the thing. So Tatis Jr. does his thing, which I thought it was weak. It was like a little half.
I mean, to be honest, he was just mocking.
But I'm saying
he was mocking Trevor Bauer.
But what's going to happen?
But
do you think Trevor, though, after he said, "Oh, I'm okay," but then he went and looked at the video and said, "Oh, but you sneaky peeky."
Okay, so I think the next time the Dodgers face the Padres, those at-bats between Tatis and Bauer will be more animated.
I don't think it's going to be Bauer. I think that this is the part where people talk about rubbing the wrong way. There's a guy on the Dodgers named Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly's kid does something, Joe Kelly will get rubbed the wrong way. There's different people, okay?
Okay, do I think the Dodgers hit Tatis this year? Yes.
Oh, I do.
And it's gonna incite a problem.
Why? If the Dodgers hit Tatis this year, who's the manager?
Dave Roberts will hit people.
Dave Roberts and Tingler.
Okay.
Tingler?
Okay, but Dave Roberts
but it's not,
I will hit
by the way,
Manny Mora.
No, but I'm saying though, but it's
I will hit everyone.
No, but I'm saying though, it's not. And this is the
remember, I said it here in April.
But
when the Dodgers and Padres play again,
well, they play like 25.
They're gonna play. They're gonna play. They play a lot.
But it's not the manager's
They're
call.
gonna hit. I understand that.
That's what I'm saying.
But there's gonna be somebody on the staff
on this team
that I didn't like it. And they're gonna hit him.
I'll give you the evolution.
In fact, I'm gonna say it right here: the Dodgers and Padres, the bench is clear once.
I'll give you this real quick.
Oh yeah,
I'll give you this real quick.
That's baseball.
You're on a team, okay? I didn't like Trevor. I didn't like Tatis, and something happened in the game without the manager telling me. I'm gonna say, you know what?
I hit him.
I needed an excuse to go do it. Same thing I'll talk about right now with the Madrigal, Miguel Cabrera. I'm going to be honest with you. If I was an upcoming pitcher, the way that I grew up in baseball, minor league guy just came up, my first year in the big leagues, and Miguel bought me a suit just because he was nice.
I want to be on his good side.
No, not even on his good side. Miguel might even ask me. And Nick, Matt, especially the size that he has, does that. The next at bat, I'm going to drill him. So Miguel, nobody has to tell me anything. Just because I'm going to say, you're going to respect.
Well,
you're going to respect.
That's another thing.
You know who do that? And I love for that. Greg Maddux hit Tadahiro Iguchi. Wow. My pitcher the next day, it was Freddie Garcia.
He hit Derek Lee.
Freddie Garcia drilled Derek Lee, and Derek Lee peed his pants.
Well, Derek Lee.
Wait, that day, Derek Lee looked at me straight up. Come on, Ozzie.
Well, you're friends with him.
And Freddie got, because he thought.
Yeah.
I said, what happened? I don't know.
Miss the
Freddie
Garcia.
Freddie Garcia said, I did it because Mato hit Gucci.
I think
did you have any problem?
The thing was that you gotta if you're watching the game and you're there, Gucci was coming in a little hot streak. Maddox has pinpoint control. He just hits him because
in the back,
I can do this, and I'm gonna tone you down a little bit.
And when you're playing the game, and the media again, we're talking about you haven't been in those shoes. You haven't. So the part that's really interesting is this is the other part where people say having fun in baseball. George Girardi, went out to argue the other day, and people thought that he was arguing because he was mad at the kid. He was just mad because the umpire called a warning, and if his pitcher hits somebody, he's going to get like a 2-game suspension.
Well, I wish sometimes that umpires would think more.
Hey,
Girardi just wants them if one of their pitchers accidentally hits somebody,
you're going to get a 2-game suspension.
They're going to get tossed.
Oh, yes.
You hit Bryce in the face, and then the next one, it wasn't on purpose.
No.
The next one, you hit Didi.
You saw the kid's reaction.
He didn't want to hit him, obviously.
Bryce Harper, okay. I liked Bryce before because of the Ozzie and Bryce Harper story when he sent you the bat.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Bryce, a lot of people might say that he's good, bad. That's your opinion. When I look at a kid that represents baseball, meaning the way that this game is played and knows everyone's going to hate the unwritten rules, but he knows what the game is about and represented that right way. We've seen the thing, Acuna is his name, with the fan. He went and sent a personal text message
to the
kid. I'm getting goosebumps. And said, hey, man, I don't want you to just ruin your career or be scared of pitching inside.
Throw.
This is baseball. Throw. Yeah. I know you didn't mean to hit me. I know it could have been anybody else. This guy came out. No, he said, hey, kid, because he knows that the kid's a guy that's up and coming. And he knows that could affect his career. Because I'm scared of hitting somebody.
Because before we sign off here, I encourage people to, even when you're golfing, when you're doing whatever, always compete. There's nothing wrong with healthy competition. That is healthy competition with Bryce and the guy. We're all competing. You just don't want anyone get hurt, but competing is okay. And what Miguel Cabrera, there'll probably be something there eventually with the Tigers. There won't be anything to the point of whatever.
I don't say, don't be surprised a Venezuelan pitcher hit.
Just because they want
But you know what I don't have no respect? For Grossman. The guy was running in second base.
He's again.
No.
He
Wait.
didn't say anything.
He didn't say
because
anything.
now you go like this. There's 3 years suspension back because that kid he was running. Said you're accusing me to.
If you were playing shortstop and he started going crazy like that, or if you were running, what would you say to him?
He was lucky that Odor wasn't running second.
No, I
say, hey, shut up. Ain't nobody giving signs.
Yeah, no, by the way,
He was lucky Odor wasn't running second.
I did it to Roberto Alomar. One, to me, the best player ever put a uniform. I know it's a lot of better players out there, hitters or whatever. To me, is the best player ever put a uniform so far. Okay? Can beat you in every part of the game. And I see him running backwards with one pitch. I go, hey, what's going on here? I say, hey, Roberto, if you do that again, we're going to drill you. He go, what? He turned and said, what? I said, I know what you're doing. I ain't stupid. I know. I'm not going to tell anybody. If you do that again, I know you told the guy in location. I never do that.
And honestly, the Tatis peeking, it's a big deal if you tell a hitter location.
Yeah, then all the
it's a huge effing deal. It's not trash cans.
Hey, no.
But if you're hitting, it's not trash cans.
Trash can, yeah,
but if you're that's stupid. But if you're hitting and you're like they're coming in, I'm looking in, that is a huge advantage.
Okay.
We don't even do that in men's league. I would consider that bush.
Okay.
If you're like, he's outside.
I never fight anybody. My heat, before I forgot, my heat. Oh, hey, Roberto Hernandez hit Alomar. I told him to hit him. Next day we're stretching. Roberto Alomar was straight to him. I said, I hit you. I should never say anything about it. But I know the conversation you guys have back there. But my hit, I hit 220. My hitting and my hit, I see the video, my hit looking at me, put the fingers down and looking at me. And I told our hitting coach, Walter Rini, I said, if this guy, when I hit, he's looking at me, you just check your head. Or no. I hit him.
So he thought you were cheating.
I saw him. I saw my Walter Rini, I went like this, and I went like this. I poked it right with the bat, right in the mask.
Were you hitting well against him? Is that
220.
what happened? No, obviously he thought you were hitting well. So he thought you were cheating.
I went like this because I always grab my bat and I look and Walter Rini, and I'm poking right in his mask. He get out.
He's a big guy.
He go, I said, you know what? You know I will kick you back right now. I said, yes, but you not unrespect me. I got more at bat than you.
Because before we sign off here, because he questioned your professionalism.
Yeah.
Because you're calling someone.
He's for 100.
You're calling, because that's what I think. Like that, you're when you call someone like unprofessional, you're kind of cheating. It pokes you the wrong way.
Oh, of course, it rubs you the wrong way.
But now you get suspension.
Oh, now you get suspended for even for bending over somebody.
Okay, you get suspended to fight, but you don't get suspended to cheat.
Well, that's again.
Wait a minute. Yes, you get suspended because you fight on the team, but managers cheating, organization cheating, and the managers be suspended one day. No players be suspended.
I agree.
You have to be careful with that.
Oni, what's your guarantee for this week? Over the weekend for the Guillén guaranteed.
The Sox are riding high because they just faced the crappy Tigers. The Indians are going to come into town, and they will win this series. I am betting the Indians heavy, like heavy.
Oh wow,
that is
including please take my guy.
I'm taking the money line on Cleveland heavy.
Wow,
they're going to come into town.
And you just
by the way,
hating conversations.
Because last week I said the Sox would beat the Texas Rangers. I said the Sox would beat Detroit, crappy teams. Big series this weekend at guaranteed rate or whatever it's called now. I'm riding the Indians heavy.
I don't agree, but my picks are not based on that. I did pick yesterday. Check out your Twitter. I said that they would sweep the doubleheader, greatest 7-inning team. Follow me. You're going to get good tips.
You know who I picked?
But I'm saying
I picked the Browns.
The Browns? Okay, so by the way, they got to go 2-0 this weekend.
Saturday.
So my picks are this. So Beaver, Pineda, and Yu Darvish. Okay, 3 starters, 3 powerful guys. +6 on Beaver on Ks. Pineda +4 on Ks. That's easy money. And then Darvish, don't think about him with the Cubs. He's actually back to himself. He will strike out more than 6. Take that. 3 teams on the over on the strikeout.
The Royals are still in first place. They are.
And Ozzie Sr. said that the Browns are going 2-0.
They better be. The Browns 2 win, no losses. It's not.
By the way, one game should be easier than the other one, but I think one of the
we're winning Sunday.
Opening day
That's
is
the big
against it's against the team that's like the Royals. They're there. They're not quite there yet, but they're always a good, and they play us really, really, really good baseball. But the sad part is obviously we've had an amazing run with the Goose Island family and the Guillén family, and obviously the partnership. Thank you so much for these amazing 5 weeks. We've learned so much from Goose Island. The Ozzie loves the shanty.
Yeah, I know. I do love it.
He loves it for real. His cooler is always packed. Only now knows the difference between amazing cheese curds and amazing tater tots. But thank you so much from the Guillén family and from the bottom of our hearts for presenting the Guillén show by Goose Island. Any words you guys want to say?
By the way, we got someone says half of the bar groaned when Junior said, "Follow me for winners." So I guess a lot of people follow you.
By the way,
look at the stats.
Thank you to the Goose Island, and we appreciate that because it means a lot to us. At least we have somebody can support or great conversation. Some conversation you don't have in baseball. We have family conversation.
By the way, so for that group that's there that's saying they're following me, they probably hate me because there's no one more sarcastic.
This guy said yesterday, he goes, best 7-inning team.
Best 7-inning team in baseball. It's a fact.
And you know what? By the way, I said that in the air yesterday.
Yeah, because it's true, though. So Steve Stone and everybody else, all the fans that say crazy things. Nobody said yesterday, Tony looks at this guy and said, Tony's old. But then Larry, who's hot, he said, I'm riding the hot guy.
Yeah.
And nobody says, I have a question. Does Jermaine Mercedes make the lineup, make the roster if Tony's not the manager?
Probably not. I just love it. I love what you is it. Bring Drake back.
Bring Drake LaRoche. I'm just saying though, people. I'm just making funny comments. Like I said yesterday, who do you blame for this? Who do you blame?
The other day he said, bring Nancy Foles back. We won.
Who do you blame? Who do you blame for this? Everybody. Jerry, by the way,
Jerry's
at home. The other day,
because Tony wanted to bring that song that was famous in '83.
Yeah,
they won. He goes, I wish they could bring na.
Okay.
Hey,
by the way, it was cool, the light show. But again, if you're gonna keep following me, I am being sarcastic all the time.
Junior continues to be the most controversial man at Top Hat Bar and Grill.
Yeah, because at Top Hat,
you know what? I gotta go. I gotta check out the Top Hat Bar and Grill.
I bet Top Hat is part of Jonestown. You know what Jonestown is? People drink the Kool-Aid and they all died. That's what it is. They come out and say something.
It's gonna be.
But by the way, the picks though. Yesterday, my good friend Rafa Nieves, before we send off, made a really quick comment, and I was like, "Whoa, this is a reality." I would love to see the Germinator in Colorado in the home run derby. And if he plays I'm saying if he plays average baseball, and I said bet him for the Rookie of the Year. I think he deserves to be in the All-Star game.
It's the best hitter. This is not a lucky month, guy. This guy going to be maybe playing.
Well, I'm saying though, this guy has had the reason the White Sox are in the hunt. So thank you so much, on the Guillén family presented by Goose Island. Thank you so much. And by the way, you want those fans to really hate me? I think that Mac is going to be better than Fields. Great pick, Patriots. Great pick. Look at everybody laughing.
I don't know anything about what you guys.
They picked the guy from Ohio. They're never good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you guys. Thank you.